Let's take a look at today's headlines across Houston. Hello, I'm Len Cannon. A North Houston neighborhood awakened by the sound of gunshots, then a crash. A homeowner later finds someone dead in his front yard. This happened Sunday morning outside a home on Wheatley Street in Acres Homes. The car ended up hitting a fire hydrant and knocking over a mailbox. Police say they found at least 2 shell casings near the driver's body, but neighbors describe hearing several shots.
It was that first boom, 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 and then boom, 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 4 shots, and then another 4 shots. It was so close that it was loud.
Neighbors telling us, unfortunately, this kind of violence is not uncommon.
Pretty common around this area. It's kind of just getting used to it.
Every week.
Yeah, it's
every weekend is past this.
Does that make you guys sad that you're getting used to living with gun violence in your neighborhood?
Yeah, it's pretty sad that it's getting, normalized around this neighborhood.
So far, police don't have any information on a suspect and are looking into surveillance video to piece together what happened here. 4 bank robbery suspects are in custody after leading police on a chase Monday that started inside a Walmart on the northwest side, then ended in a crash in southeast Houston. Now we're learning those suspects may also be linked to a series of other robberies. Katir Winfrey with the latest.
Well, this is that tree those suspects slammed into. You can see the impact ripped off the bark. There is fluid and debris on the ground. The impact so great, at least one of the suspects broke a leg. The other 3 quickly apprehended. This is what's left of 4 robbery suspects' car after police say they robbed a banking institution inside this northwest Houston Walmart.
Blue 300, dark windows.
TransStar video shows what appears to be the suspect vehicle taking police on a chase for several miles down the freeway.
Just went up to 74 miles an hour.
On 2 residential streets before ending here in southeast Houston.
I had seen helicopters and police cars flying by, but I didn't really connect 2 and 2 until I kind of saw that the police presence in the area was very, very thick.
Houston police say at least one of the suspects' legs was injured when they slammed into this tree. The other 3 tried to run away but were found quickly. Tyler Ritchie watched some of it go down.
A young man had barricaded himself inside the restroom.
Police confirmed that final suspect, a juvenile, hiding inside this gas station's restroom. Police spotted articles of clothing and loose cash outside on the ground and tracked him to the store.
And there was a young man currently being walked out of the restroom, and they just sat him on the curb outside.
Houston police say they believe the suspects are linked to various other robberies in recent weeks, targeting grocery stores with bank institutions inside them. Ritchie says initially it was hard to tell what was happening with so many unmarked cars.
I wouldn't expect them to be police officers, but they're all, heavily armed, and you can tell they're about business.
It's not clear how much money the suspects got away with. Houston police say they are working to confirm reports of an attempted carjacking that reportedly happened after the chase. Reporting in southeast Houston, Katira Winfrey, KHOU 11 News.
Quite a story. Here's another one, a bizarre one, where Houston firefighters had to bust a hole in a fireplace to free a suspected burglar who got stuck going down the chimney. The homeowner says she called 911 Easter Sunday after hearing someone yelling for help. Troy Kless with this wild story.
At the Mitchell's home, things were quiet on Easter weekend. Then around 12:30 Sunday morning, the dog started barking.
And I was like, what's going on, Ellie? And I did hear some noises.
Joni Mitchell looked around the house.
All of a sudden, I started hearing, yeah. And it was coming out of the fireplace.
She wakes up her husband, Kurt, who is confused by what his wife told him.
Maybe a raccoon or something got in, and I come down and opened the flue inside the fireplace, and the flue levers inside there, and this guy was speaking Spanish, and he was freaking out.
The couple called 911, and Houston firefighters came in to knock the wall down brick by brick.
When they broke into it, the front fell off, and there was his face and his shoulders.
The man stuck in a space no bigger than 2 square feet. After the ordeal, the Mitchells learned why the man chose the chimney.
One of the firemen spoke Spanish, and he told him that he was being chased and was trying to get away from something, so I don't know.
The suspect, identified as 33-year-old Edwin Leonel Salmoron Granados, is still in the hospital. The Mitchells have their own pain to deal with, patching the wall, hopefully with the help of insurance.
It's a pretty good company, so I'm hoping they will, but We'll find out here shortly. So I hope we got to pay for it because that looks expensive.
Usually we hear about men in red suits sliding down chimneys providing gifts, but a real unexpected visit from a possible intruder left a mark.
I've never, ever heard anything like this before. It was crazy.
Really crazy. Police say the man will be charged with burglary of a habitation. However, because he's still recovering in the hospital, it's unclear when he'll be taken into custody or face a judge. Houston Spring means blooming flowers and alligators on the move. Take a look. This gator showed up in Katie's Cinco Ranch neighborhood over the weekend and plopped itself on someone's front porch. Neighbors say it likely came from a nearby retention pond. Gator activity picks up in spring because it is breeding season. Troy Klesch shares how one homeowner handled the encounter.
Living in southeast Texas, you know that you lived with animals like that?
In Cinco Ranch is where David Morton has lived with his family for 11 years. A neighbor told him something was on his lawn.
Am I safe? What kind of attitude is this in?
He walks out his door and starts recording an alligator on a walk.
Giving it all of its respect. What you can't see is I back up into the house a little bit, and then the family is quite amused with everything that was going on too, so they were making ruckus.
Alligators in Texas are mostly inactive until early March, when Texas Parks and Wildlife say males go on the hunt for a mate. Breeding season runs through May.
Hey, you don't see that every day right in front of your house.
This gator spotted Saturday, shortly after storms rolled in, an Easter gift that was unexpected, but he may have been seen before. This retention pond here to my left is about a half-mile away from the Mortons' home. Now, it's not confirmed, but neighbors believe this is where the gator came from.
It never broke. It just continuously.
It eventually stopped in the cul-de-sac, and neighbors called authorities.
I think it's huge, man.
After some close encounters.
And I think everybody was aghast, and worried and concerned. But we understand everybody's different and they have different risks. But yeah, if you're educated on this, you just give it the space that it needs.
A doorbell camera captures who appears to be a Texas game warden and Fort Bend County Sheriff's deputies subduing the gator around 2:30 Sunday morning.
And it's just best to, stay back and contact the authorities that do know how to manage that.
A call that Morton will make if he sees a gator again. In Katy, Troy Klesch, KHOU 11 News.
Gator wrangling not for the nervous. That's a wrap of your Houston headlines. I'm Len Cannon.